Great day everybody, my name is Major and welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. So in this replay, I'll be showing you an experimental scrap deck I call Scrap Exterio. So from the name itself, we'll be using scraps to special summon Naturia Exterio. So let's get on to the replay. First one, I'm not sure who our opponent is, but we'll see in a while. Let's just allow this round to load for a while. Come on. But, in this replay, as you'll see later, we actually faced Runicks and Sprites. So, alright, so our opponent does not have an extra deck, which is concerning. And this is not really an ideal hand, but we can trigger the effect of Factory by using Scrap Arthas's effect. So we get our Raptor, we get another extra summon. So using our Raptor, we actually summon Scrap Recycler, and we were able to dump Cyberstein. So Cyberstein is key for trying to fusion summon Naturia Exterio from the extra deck. And so we're just going through our regular scrap combo. We're using our double summon in order to in order to build our board. So one of the other essential cards in our deck is Dugaris the Timeless. So you need Dugaris to special summon Cyberstein from the graveyard, and then you special summon your Exterio, and then we get Appaloosa. So we have Spell, Trap, and Monster Negates. And then, as you can see, you can actually do something with Golem and Raptor. You can have a Wolf Riot, just in case your opponent wants to go crazy with monster summons and special summons. And you can also synchro summon for a Gotham's to make your opponent discard one of their hands, or you can also synchro summon for a virtual world QB Shen, because that card, especially against Tearlaments, will make any card from the field get instead of getting sent to the graveyard, they will get banished. And so that has some negative repercussions on your deck as well. You just have to watch out for it. And so right now, you might be wondering why we were not able to finish our opponent. Well, that's because our main phase 1 was skipped. We immediately went to the battle phase due to the Garrus's effect. So now we're just setting our board. We're just trying to clear the field. And we're just trying to set things up. I think this is going to be Scrap Dragon. Yeah, it's a Scrap Dragon. We just destroy that set card. And then that's it. So I think this is game. I don't think the opponent can do anything else. So yeah, this is pretty much a strong board. I don't know what that is. What's that? Oh, it's one of the Exodia cards, whose effect we negated with Appaloosa, and the opponent just killed themselves. Alright, so moving on to the second replay. I'm not sure if this is Runick or if this is something else, but it's just 2 turns, so we'll see. We'll see if we go first or if we go second. I think this is the game where I went second using the Scrap Exterio deck. So this is just to show you what we can do even if we're going second. So this is actually it's a good hand. We can initiate our... Oh, what is that? Okay, so I think the opponent bricked, which is good for us. Okay, so we're just going to proceed with our usual 2-card combo, Factory and Raptor. Alright, so with Factory's effect, we can get our Golem, we can add Chimera, we don't have to add Recycler because Recycler is already on our hand. And then, I think I sent... Oh, not yet. I think it is in this duel where I'll also send a... what we call this? Mecha Phantom Beast Olion. I have 1 copy of Olion in my deck just so that Recycler can have a bit more utility instead of just sending Cyberstein into the grave. So There we go. We have Dugaris the Timeless. We special summon our Cyberstein and then we fusion for our Naturia Exterior. So, oh yeah, I didn't go for anything else at this point because it's game. Okay, so proceeding to the third replay, let's just finish this. Here we go. I think this is the RUNICK, or I'm not sure. Is this RUNICK? Is this something else? We're gonna have to see. So going second, we can still do things, but I think we just got lucky in the previous game. But at least it showed you what you can do if you have those set of cards in your hands or other similar hands. You can work with it. Okay, so this is good. But we're again going second. Our opponent is RUNICK. Okay, our opponent is RUNICK, and I negated this effect since it allows them to add a RUNICK card, which I suspect was going to be RUNICK Fountain. What's this? Okay, so they were not able to get their fountain, which is good. But you can never allow a RUNICK player to recover. Okay, so we got lucky that we have Called by the Grave, so that Maxi is gone. And we can just proceed with our combos. So use Factory, Raptor, our 2-card combo. But they negated it, so good thing we have Scrap Storm. So I guess, yeah, this was a really good hand. This was a really good hand. We had ways to go around monster negates. We had a way to go through even if our opponent had a max C. So yeah, we got lucky. This was a good draw. But you can never be too comfortable, especially if you're against a meta player. So this replay was from sometime around March. RUNICKs were ruling the boards, and we can't really do much anything about them unless you really find a way to get rid of that fountain and all those other spell cards that they have. So the one of the best cards for the job really is Naturia Exterio. And so where's Exterio? Yeah, we're just going for a Dugaris, and then our Cyberstein, and then our Exterio. There we go. Wait, I'm not sure if I've been calling Naturia Exterio Scrap Exterio, but it's a Naturia card, by the way. Naturia Exterio, and this is game. Right, so the opponent had no cards on the hand, on the field, and they're all useless in the graveyard. So let's go to the fourth replay. I'm not so sure who this player is or what kind of opponent deck is this, but I think this is a hero deck. I think this is a hero deck. But the last one, I'm sure it's DRYTRON. I'm sure the last one is DRYTRON. Shows you how well this card performs against those. Okay, so let's just fast forward. Okay, so I think this replay is just again meant to show you what you can do if you have this kind of hand. So there's another card in here that you might not be too familiar with. It's Scrap Lube. It's like a monster reborn, but for scrap monsters only. And you have to observe that one of its consequences is you cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate that card. So it's good for going first. I mean, this deck has been made for going first. But that could be an extender, right? That could be an extender in case you don't have anything to go with. So we're just doing our usual combo. I think I messed this up. I'm not sure if I messed this up, if I miscalculated, or if there was really no way, because the hand was kind of bricky. Yeah, the hand was kind of bricky, I think, or I think I miscalculated. Anyway, so yeah, we weren't able to bring out Appaloosa, or do we call this or our Naturia Exterio, but then as you'll see, I think this hero deck also experienced the same thing. So it's kind of like we both bricked or we both miscalculated. Alright, so I think it's by around this turn that we get to have a comeback. We're lucky that we got another copy of Raptor. So just in case there was an impermanence, we still had another way of moving forward. Also not mentioning, we still have another copy of Scrap Wyvern, and yeah, in case they had two negates, then yeah, we could have go for that immediate path. And so we're just conducting more combos. I think we're just gonna destroy that set card at the back. I don't know what that set card is, by the way, so it allows you to fusion summon. Okay. So, okay, interesting. I went for a 3200 Appaloosa, and then, okay, so I think at this point we can get finally our Naturi Exterio. There we go. Cyberstein. And then Exterior. Okay, that's amazing. So I think this is game. Yeah, I think this is game. And we'll now proceed. Oh. Okay, so good thing we had Appaloosa. Oh yeah, I remember. I I link summoned Appaloosa kind of early on in the game because I was worried that the opponent might have a Nibiru. So, just to negate that Appaloosa, we needed to have a 4 material Appaloosa. So for the last one against DRYTRONS, there we go. I think we rarely see people Drytrons. We rarely see people play Drytrons these days, but this is one of those moments where we had one and we were able to defeat them. So in other iterations of my deck before, I was also able to beat Drytrons when I had Naturia Beast and Appaloosa. So those two would often be enough in stopping their moves. You just had to be strategic as to what cards you will negate. So, okay, so I think this is was this a not so good though? This is an okay hand, but that was a bad draw. That was a bad draw. Uh, we had another golem at our hand. Normally we don't want them there, but in the next video I'll be showing you actually an iteration of the scrap deck I call Scrap Vern. Vernisylphs are actually amazing supports for scrap decks because you won't be afraid of having a Searcher or a Golem in your hand because you can discard them into the graveyard and special summon them afterwards with the help of your Vernisylph card. So in this iteration of this experimental Scrap Exterio deck, I still don't have Vernisylphs in this deck, so since this is experimental, it has to be optimized. I might have to modify the deck a bit in order to keep up with the meta and make it more consistent. So yeah, we didn't know that our opponent was Drytron, so let's just let the opponent play. But the moment you see, no, it's not that. It's not that card. There's another card. When you see it, okay, that one. Yeah, the Diviner of Herald. Once you see that, that's either, okay, now that's either Tearlament or Drytron, but more often these days it's going to be Tearlament, but back then, if you see that, that's going to be a Drytron. So, as you can see, the opponent activated a Meteonis Drytron, but they weren't able to really use it since we had Exterio and their monster effects were not did not really also do that much since we had Appaloosa. And so, it is at these points that I realized maybe I should have another copy of Appaloosa in my extra deck, just so that when I get to these points where Appaloosa is down to the last negate, I can special summon another Appaloosa into the field. So, I mean, that's not gonna happen right now because obviously we don't have I don't have another Appaloosa. So yeah, we try to negate because I think that, oh yeah, I think I read the effects for quite some time, and I realized this guy just adds Metaionis Drytron, which we can negate. So, Appaloosa's negate was well used on that, we call this Thoban. Oh, Eltanin. Because he contributed. Yeah, that card can special summon. We don't want our opponent special summoning. So that's great. We negate once again. And so, with that set card, I'm not sure what it is, but whatever it is, I'm pretty sure Exterio can take care of it. So I didn't even, I think I won't bother destroying it because there's a chance it could be waking the dragon or something. So that's it for game. Let's now move on to the deck list. I'll show you what this experimental deck is all about. So go back, review our deck. Come on. Right. So you see there's the other iteration of the scrap deck called Scrap Fern. This one's Scrap Exterio. This is experimental. Best for going first. So we have Cyberstein. We have an O-Lion. We have 3 copies of Recyclers because, it's much better if you have it in your hand. We have Chimera. We have 3 Raptors. We have 1 copy of Ash Blossom and Maxi. But they're not really to deter the opponent. They're more of for cross out designator, right? If our opponent attempts to use a Maxi or Ash Blossom or Raptor or something, and we have cross out designator, we can use it. So we have 2 Called by the Graves, very important in uh, trying to counter the opponent when they try to disrupt our plays. As you can see, there are 6 other cards that are just meant to extend, like Scrap Lube, World Legacy Succession, and Double Summon. But these cards actually, they can be removed and they can be replaced with Vernisylphs. So let me just show you Vernisylphs, what I used. I think I used 2 of this seedlings in the other deck, 3 of these, and then just 1 of that one. So I haven't been able to get this one. This would have been also good, but you can't also have too many Vernisylphs in your deck since they require a monster to be sent to the graveyard in order to activate their effects. So as you can see, this deck composition has a lot of spell cards, and there's I think there's more spell cards than monsters, but most of these cards are really just search for searching, yeah, like Fossil Dig and Scrap Yard. But yeah, this is again an experimental deck yet to be optimized. I am planning to add the Vernisylphs just to make it more consistent. For the extra deck, we have Naturia Exterio. I'm not sure why we have Landois. We can remove Landois, I think. We have, of course, Dugaris the Timeless. And then, just in case you end up in those situations where you have a Golem and a Raptor, you can go for a Virtual World QB Shen Shen for for limiting the tier elements in other decks that, what do you call this? Other decks that rely on sending cards to the graveyard, especially those that have effects when they're sent from the field to the graveyard. So there's also another one. Let's see. Wolfriet. I think it's Wolfriet. It's also a level 9 Synchro. If you think your opponent is going to try to special summon a lot of monsters, activate a lot of monster effects, and end up with a lot of monsters on the field, you can use Wolf Riot's quick effect to shuffle them all back into the deck. So I think there's this one. There's another option in case you have 2 scrap recyclers on the field and you need that extra monster negate. You can make a Cicada King. I think this card was present in one of the early iterations of my deck, which was more budget friendly since you can get that from solo mode. Of course, we have Appaloosa, and I think those are it. 2 copies of Wyvern. Yeah, I think that's it. This is again an experimental deck. It's yet to be optimized. If you have suggestions, comment them down below. And thank you all for watching.